and welcome to Wonderland. My name is Allison, the self-proclaimed priestess of Wonderland, and I'm here to invite you on a journey to the moon. We love the moon here in Wonderland. You might even say that we are lunatics. So come join us on this Follow the Moon challenge. Today is day 23, and we have a waning gibbous Scorpio moon almost to a last quarter moon. Scorpio energy is Halloween energy. We talked more in depth about Scorpio energy yesterday, and a lot of times when we think of Scorpio and talk about Scorpio, the darkness aspect of it is the focal point of when we focus on Scorpio energy. But I think a lot of times what's overlooked is that when we explore that darkness and embrace that darkness and shed and release the darkness that isn't serving us anymore, that makes room for positive things and playful things. And we can really see at what the modern Halloween holiday, it is dark and spooky, but it's also playful and fun at the same time. It's allowing yourself to be a little bit indulgent and explore that dark and mysterious side and get your sugar high and to get your freak on. Imagine if you're walking through the woods and you come across an old abandoned house. Now, you're going to assume that it's haunted, for one. Why is that? Why would an empty house automatically be haunted? And I think one of the reasons is because we assume that the unknown is bad or scary, and we also think that emptiness is scary, when really it's just an empty house that's been neglected. And we can kind of compare that to the things that we stuff down inside. We all have this empty house or this empty attic that we store things that we don't want to look anymore. We put them in boxes, we stuff them down, and we try not to think about them anymore. And what happens when we neglect those things is that they try to get out of that locked room. They are trying to escape and end up being more dramatized or chaotic than they originally were. Whereas if you opened the room and opened the box and took a look inside, it's probably not that scary. It may have been scary to the younger version of yourself that didn't know any better or hasn't learned how to integrate or heal those past wounds. So when we look at an old, empty, abandoned house, what if we looked at it a little bit differently? What if we looked at it as what it once was? Possibly in its lifetime, it was a beautiful home with a happy family in it. It was brand new at one point in time. It was shiny and pretty and filled with things and people that were loved and adored. And you're still drawn to this old abandoned house because you're curious what's inside. It's almost like it's calling your name and pulling you towards it. And that's what shadow work is. It's like there's this piece of me that I've neglected and I've kept hidden, but it's calling me to look at it and explore it. And if you allow yourself to explore this dark and scary abandoned house, you're going to remember, if you're able to heal it, you're going to remember that, hey, this used to bring me joy. This used to keep me safe. This used to keep me protected. And you can explore these different boxes and dust off these cobwebs that have been left behind and put new things into that space. You can put a fresh coat of paint on it. You can resurface the floorboards. You can clean and dust out and bring back to life this thing that has been neglected for so long. Scorpio teaches us to be honest with ourselves and honest with the world and love ourselves where we are. Darkness and light and all the phases in between. This is what the moon teaches us too. And you can change, you can restructure, you can remodel, you can redecorate, you can turn the lights on and clear out the cobwebs of your body, mind, and soul. We are all capable of loving every aspect of ourselves and transforming it into the person that we want to be. The best and highest version of ourselves, the cutest, most adorable little cottage in the forest instead of that spooky old abandoned house in the woods. So while the moon is in Scorpio today, what is something in your life that you can shift, change, or transform? Remember, the water energy teaches us to go with the flow, to allow for movement. Recognize and pay attention to your emotions today and note how you're feeling. Remember to record it in your mood tracker. And if you come across an emotion that you don't like or that you would normally stuff down and keep hidden, try to just allow that emotion. If something makes you angry, allow yourself to feel mad for a moment and then transform that into, okay, how can we make this situation better? How can we focus on the positive and how you can move forward and go with the flow? As always, be kind and gentle with yourself, especially on water days. And I would like to thank you for following the moon and being brave enough to explore the darkness with me. We will be back tomorrow with a transition day as we move from Scorpio to Sagittarius.